Hey, hey, welcome back, guys. All right, so Cancerians, let's go ahead and jump on in. We're going to take a look at who wants to communicate with Cancer. And I'm saying that because the telephone booth is the most prominent feature in this backdrop for the moment, but throughout the week, we'll do a couple of other storytellings. Inspired by this. I personally happen to be half British, so this is kind of a nice I don't know, just nice memories for me of some time in London. So we've got that Five of Wands. It is sideways. Whomever this is could be a fire sign, obviously. This is somebody who's, it's weird to have that sideways because it's like they think Cancer might be thinking about them as well. Hey, Jim. Okay, we have Libra coming in with the Justice card, and we have the Ace of Cups. So somebody who wants to talk or to send some kind of communication, some kind of message, or pick up the phone and call Cancer. It could be an individual who wonders, like, is Cancer as bothered by everything as I am? Because this is a very stormy kind of love, right? There's this cup, but all these rain clouds have been dumping into it. So it's like, I still love Cancer, but everything went so horribly wrong. But I still love Cancer, but all went so horribly wrong. And it's just all of this energy is like, you guys are so sweet. RS, sweet dreams, hun. We'll let Empress Unicorn know that you're off to bed. This feels like our character has not known what is going on here. Do you miss me? Or are you glad that I walked away? Are you glad that you walked away, Cancer? It's like they think Cancer still probably thinks about it, but the part of them says I should just let this go, and then the other part of them can't let it go. They very much are waffling. I shouldn't reach out. I shouldn't say a thing. But how could Cancer not feel the same way I do about this? Wasn't this just a big, huge mess? And wasn't there so much love here? The Devil sideways. Again, they're kind of obsessed about this, and they're feeling like both Cancer and themselves probably, maybe both weren't at their best, or there's something here where it was like things got out of hand, things got really toxic, things got really stressful, that devil being there, but sideways. This is, I don't want to say this person is like, well, Cancer wasn't, perfect either. It's not like that. It's just that they keep saying there was so much love, there was so much good, and then everything went so wrong. And it's not just one simple, like, this is what happened, this one thing was wrong, and that's what ruined everything. It's more like, man, together we were, gasoline and fire. Four of Pentacles. I don't know if there was some kind of arguing, possibly about money or about exes or about something that went on where it was like we didn't get a chance to get things worked out because it was a third influence. And that third influence could be money, could be an ex, could be, paying alimony to an ex. But it almost feels as if there was, even here on the Devil card, the devil is puppeting two people. What I would say is that this is somebody who wishes that they could talk to Cancer because they have so much love for Cancer, but they're aware that like a third energy was maybe instrumental in creating all the drama. It's almost like Cancer and I left to our own devices. It could have just been all good. It could have been all love. It could have been all good vibes. But instead, there's this third energy that I don't like the fact that we keep seeing, people on strings, people being, plucked, people. It almost feels like this is a damn shame, Pauline, so great to see you. Hi, Violet. Hi, Angel R. Bellum, so great to see everybody. We've got the High Priestess. There's this huge component of them that knows Cancer sees it the exact same way. Like, I'm wondering if a third energy came in, started to stir up trouble, an ex, somebody who wanted more money, somebody who reeled somebody back into some drama. And they're saying, it was so unfair that then it caused all this conflict between me and Cancer. It destroyed things between us. we then wound up, having everything we started to fight. We started to have like a whole meltdown, a breakdown of everything. And it was so sad because it was so good between me and Cancer. And I know Cancer felt that way too. All of this, they're like talking themselves through this thought process of, if I know all this to be true, then what do I say to Cancer? Am I supposed to just walk away from this? But I don't really want to. I want to talk to Cancer. So let me just say this. Do you have a solution? Because if their big thing is, I want to talk to Cancer, but on the other hand, should I just walk away? I'm like, well, is there a solution to the problems that occurred? We have the High Priestess. It almost says deep down there, like, I can't find a solution until I'm like back in sync with Cancer. And I know that, and I think Cancer knows that too. We have the High Priestess twice. So let me just put it this way. There's a ton of like 5D realm kind of communication going on, the longing, I'm feeling your energy, you're feeling my energy, we're sending those vibes back and forth. So there's a lot of unspoken and similarly held emotions toward each other, is what they think. But I asked, is there a solution? We have all this money. And remember, the source of a lot of this was somebody wants the money, honey. She's dangling this little dude over here by the bank. That's why I say this was maybe an ex who wants a lot of money. And here she's sitting in piles of money. And I said, is there a solution? And it could be, well, the solution is, normally a Queen of Pentacles is not greedy. But if this was like their ex, it's like the solution would be if I make sure that she has everything, the house, the everything. And then the star, and then I could move far, far away and move on with life. That then she would be content. If I surrender everything to make somebody else happy, that would be the solution. But there's something here about like, I don't know why they feel like they would need to almost like check in with Cancer to be like, maybe they're worried that they would be coming to Cancer with absolutely nothing then. I mean, this is like, if I gave all the money and everything, maybe it's a whole business, maybe it's, quite a lovely estate. But if I signed off on all of it to give it away to someone else, and then I'm free, I can go toward Cancer, but I will come in with nothing. It's almost like they're saying I would have to tell that to Cancer and see if that's okay with Cancer. Money comes and goes, though. I mean, like, pay the cost to get your freedom and go with the person you love. I mean, that's just me talking out loud, but it feels like this is the solution, but they want to know from Cancer, would that be okay? Maybe because they would feel like they are really coming in with so very little. We have Page of Swords. We have 6 of Wands. We have 7 of Swords. I can see why they're like, I think that is what Cancer would have to say. And it would feel amazing if Cancer's like, yes, let's get a fresh start, just you and me. They're like, that would feel amazing. But on the other hand, I can't come toward Cancer, say, hi, I'm here for a fresh start, and then feel like I hid from Cancer that, the cost of me having that fresh start is I gave everything away. I signed off on all of it. I think that's why they're like, I can't have Cancer look at me like I lied. That's what Cancer has to know before I do this. They're checking, what it would cost me to be able to really not have any more pull over me and really be free. But in being free, I would also be more or less naked. I got the clothes on my back and that's about it. You would have to know what you're signing up for. Is that really going to be okay with you? I can see why part of them is like, how do I ask somebody, is it okay if I come in with nothing? I should just walk away. Honestly, it feels like this is somebody who's trying to be as honorable as possible in a difficult set of circumstances. But right now, if this is the message that they want to say, I can see why they're struggling with it. I can see why they're like, do I say this? My gosh, that sounds terrible. Nobody likes to have to say, I don't have anything. The only way I can make life smooth between us is if I surrender a whole lot, which means I'm coming in with not much of anything. Honestly, I'm like, well, this person is kind of willing to throw everything out the window for love. I like them more for that. We have a 7 of Cups upright. They don't know what to do. So they've not been able to, say anything yet or do anything yet because they haven't known how to handle this. We have the Fool. We have the 8 of Cups. They keep waffling and saying, this is so foolish. I should just walk away from this. There's no way. This is so ridiculous. But then this big part of them is like, I don't know what to do because I really want to just take this leap and just see what would Cancer have to say? What would they say? 6 of Wands, 5 of Swords. They keep thinking it could go either way. Maybe Cancer would be mad at me and say, forget it, But they already know that's not true with that 6 of Wands. But they're so afraid of like being rejected when they try to give an offer that they personally think is not enough. And I'm sitting here going, they're the ones that are basically like having to surrender everything just to be able to move on in life. It's kind of like they're getting much more of the raw deal. I don't even know why they keep thinking that Cancer would be the one who would be mad at them. If anything, it would be like they're kind of sacrificing an awful lot, because it's that, to me, that's like the proof that this relationship with Cancer matters a heck of a lot more than money. But they keep worrying, what if this is ridiculous? Almost like, what if it's not true? What if Cancer doesn't like me that much? What if I showed up on their door and they're like, what the hell? We had that fight. I don't want to talk to you. Let's go to Cancer for just a second. Here's the part that's confusing to me. We've had the High Priestess twice, which means they're on the same wavelength. So you keep saying you don't know, but then with the High Priestess twice, it says, but you do know. Cancer's like, yeah, you need to, like, if you're going to be with me, of course I want to be with you, but there's always been this third party. That third party energy has been there. It's like, I feel like Cancer is over here saying, I don't want to be in a relationship with you and your ex who pulls strings all the time. It doesn't make you happy. It doesn't make you a better person. It doesn't make you feel good about yourself. I almost think that Cancer is like, it's keeping you stuck in a cycle. It's keeping you bitter. I really feel like Cancer does not like who this, we'll say this king has been behaving as, but they're blaming it on, like, we got one too many people in this relationship between you and me. Cancer's like, if that's what it boils down to, then I'd rather go solo and find my happiness alone, because I'm not going to be in a third party where you're freaking miserable and you stay stuck. I think this was the moment where, to me, this looks pretty clear that Cancer already said to them, basically, you can't have another person who has, their talons in you. That won't work, which means exactly what they're talking about doing, which is like, okay, then the remedy for that is I surrender a heck of a lot to get myself free so nobody has talons in me anymore. It feels like, Cancer already told them that's what it would take for us to be happy together. That's what it would take for me to be happy with you. It's like Cancer laid that out. But I think the one sticking point is they're like, but I don't know that Cancer knows what that really looks like. I'd be coming in with nothing. I'd be surrendering everything. Is that going to matter to Cancer? We've got the wild card sideways. Cancer's like, no, we could build anything then. Like, the world is our oyster. Think about what we could do, the businesses we could build together, the things we could do. Anything is possible. You and me, and brainstorming and figuring out what we'll do loyally, together. I don't think that bothers or scares Cancer at all. Well, all I can say is that as much as this person sits here and they think, what on earth am I supposed to do about this? They already know what to do about this. My only question is, are you going to? What are you going to do? Because you know what you want to do. And I think you actually know Cancer a lot better. Another sideways card. We have the Sun. The Sun, if it were totally upright, I'd be like, oh, okay. So, and possibly as early as tomorrow, this person's going to be reaching out to our Cancerian in this story. This says they're still gnawing on it. They're still hemming and hawing. It may not be tomorrow, but they do have clarity. It's like look, this person already knows in their gut and their soul and their instinct, I am going to be reaching out. I keep saying I don't know what I'm going to do. Yes, I do. I do know. I just don't know exactly when, because I keep telling myself I'm not 100% sure. Can I do this? Can I do this? It may take them a little bit of time, a couple of days or something. The day that they do, it could be a day where there's like big solar flares or something. I'm just seeing like little suns popping out of the big sun. So I'm picturing like could be a day where there's like a lot of solar activity. And that could be something specific. Maybe they're actually a Leo. We did see them come out as a King of Wands. So maybe they're a Leo or something. But it just feels like they're definitely going to go ahead and take this action. But I wonder if they're going to be feeling more like, vibrationally nudged by the energy of the sun. It feels like even if it's a cold day or a cloudy day, it'll be like when there's a break in the clouds so that the sun is out. I don't know, it indicates a clarity of their mind. In truth, they already know what they're doing. It's just a matter of when. I kind of love the fact that this character is doing it all for love. That's what we've got. All right, you guys. So nice to see everybody. We're going to leave this one here. Hi, guys. Kim Pruitt, Udaya. Glad you like it. Yeah. And Kivi Shah, thanks again. King Longdon, nice to have you here again. You're on a long walk? Nice. Pauline. Shout out to you in the UK. And again, Violet, so nice to see you. I am delighted you made it, Angel. And Bellum V, thanks again. And RS and Empress Unicorn 111. Good. I'm glad you guys connected. And Jemmy, you're first in the house. Thanks again, everybody. All right. Sweet dreams. I don't know, Angel R, what you're talking about. But I hope that you have a really good day, and I hope that you have a lot of nice support around you. You take care. Wishing you the best. Bella, it's my pleasure. All right, you guys, take care. Bye.